Hey, I thought I'd do a video about mansplaining. I always find it so funny. It's like, I can do something and I don't need help, I don't need support or anything. But then I'll ask the man, like, I live alone. I'll date a guy and I'll ask him, does he live alone? And he's like, no, I have roommates. And I'm like, why do you have roommates and stuff? And then he tries it, and they'll try and explain to me, like, oh, I like to be with people. I don't like to be alone. It's so expensive and everything. And, like, some places I can understand. Like, if you live in, like, San Francisco proper or whatever, like, in the city of San Francisco, and you say it's expensive, it's like, okay, I can understand that. Like, some places are, like, it would be hard to find a 1-bedroom for like $3,000 or less, depending on where you live and who you rent from. And then I'll date people like outside of San Francisco, where you can get a place for like under $3,000 sometimes, depending on what type of place you get. Because like if you rent from like a small owner, or even like corporate rental, no, not corporate rental, but a rental from like a large corporation or business or whatever, or a property management company, you can get stuff for under $3,000, like a 1-bedroom or whatever. And I'm like, okay, you don't live in San Francisco proper. You might live in San Mateo, Alameda, Contra Costa, Solano, Marin, Santa Clara, wherever. Or sometimes I even get like a Stockton in there, or a Sacramento, San Joaquin area. And it's like, oh, why don't you live alone? And I'm just thinking, like, all those places, they have stuff that's well under like $3,000. And like, I've heard in like the East Bay, there are like certain parts, and like Sacramento, San Joaquin area, you can sometimes get a place for like under $1,000. Well, rare in the East Bay, but not so rare in like Stockton and Sacramento. They have places that are like $1,000 or around $1,200. And I'm just thinking, like, why can't you live alone? Do you not make enough money or something? And it's like, you're trying to explain to me how expensive things are. And I'm like, yeah, but I have my own place and I can afford it. And then they try and go, oh, well, you don't have a car or whatever. It's like, I don't have a car, but I commute and it's expensive, because it's like, to take the bus a month, for me to go to work, it can cost sometimes, like, depending on where I choose to work, it can cost like $600 to take the bus. And if I just worked an everyday job where I took the bus like every day to San Francisco, that, how much would that cost? That would probably be about $40 a day. Oh wait, no, yeah, $40 a day. No, wait, no, not $40 a day. That's when I go, like, if I go to San Mateo, because then I have to switch and stuff. And when I was going to San Mateo, it cost me almost like $50 a day. But going to San Francisco direct, that's about $26. Oh wait, no, it didn't cost me $50 when I went to San Mateo. Wait, let me think. Oh yeah, it did, because I had to take an Uber. That's why it cost me so much, because I forgot I had to take an Uber. Yeah, because when I used to work in San Mateo, I would have to get off at the train station and then take an Uber. But I would take a bus to the train station and then get the train, then get an Uber. So that was costing me like $50 a day. But luckily, my company reimbursed me in transportation. But otherwise, if I didn't and I went to work daily and it cost me $50 a day, that's expensive. But it was like, I had to come up with the money and then show my receipts, or show my mileage, and then they paid me like by the mile. But guys will tell me like things are too expensive, they can't afford things, or like they don't want to say they can't afford it, they just say they like company and stuff. And it's like, stop trying to mansplain things and try and explain stuff to me when I know it's like you're just trying to figure out a better way to say, hey, I'm broke. And it's like, if I choose to date you or anything, and it's like, I know you're lying, you're just trying to cover up for your brokenness. And it's like, if I accept you for your brokenness, why are you trying to lie and sound better than you are? And it's like, I already accepted you. I'm giving you a chance, and you're still broke. That's the weird thing. Guys are like weird like that. It's like they don't want to admit to it. And then when you know they are, then it's like they feel insecure and they're trying to like do shit. And it's like, oh, it's annoying. Yeah, that's my little video on mansplaining, and I don't understand why guys do it. It's just like, be honest. Stop trying to like make excuses. And it's like, they're like, oh, I can't do this. Oh, this guy, he was so it was like, I kind of liked him. And then he was like, oh, I'm unemployed right now. So then, like, when people are unemployed and they tell me, like, people normally tell me they're unemployed for a reason because they know I always have a job and I can always give advice and give a backup. So I'm like, why don't you become a school teacher? Why don't you work for a county office or something? Because I'm like, San Francisco, they said they're hiring. Everywhere's hiring right now. And like, schools are looking for teachers, and you have a master's degree and you're in between jobs. And it's like, you don't have to show up every day. So why not do that if you don't want to show up every day? But it'll give you money, you can pay your rent. He's like, yeah, no, I don't want to be a teacher. I don't want to work for the city. And I'm just like, why wouldn't you apply? It's like Twitter, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, Intel, all these companies are like firing lots of people right now. And you're going to have to compete with all these people. Why not get in where you know you can get in and you'll have a job, instead of those people going to like county and city jobs doing different things, and then you're ending up being like left out without a job when it was like, yeah, you could have got a job. That's why I don't get it. Like, when I hear, and it's not, and this one's not even just about men, like when I hear older people, it's like, I understand why older people always say get a degree, because that's come in handy for me. My degree has walked me into many doors, even though I do nothing with my degree. I technically do nothing with my degree, but my degree gets me in the door. It's like, I didn't go to school to be a teacher, but I ended up becoming one because I had a degree, and they were like, hey, you want a job? And I'm like, sure. It got me in the door, but then I moved on and I did other things, and I move around and do different things. I do what I feel like when I want, because my degree gives me that security. So if I get fired from one thing, it's like, I know I can have somewhere else to go. I'll go to another school district. I'll go somewhere else. I'll go for a county job. And it gives me flexibility. And some people are like, oh, I don't want a degree. It's like, yeah. But because I realized when I didn't have a degree versus now that I have a degree, it's a lot easier for me to find a job and everything. Yeah. But that annoys me when a guy, he's like, oh, I don't have a job or anything. You don't have a job, then why are you trying to date? You need to focus on trying to get a job before you can try and go date somebody. And then if you start dating somebody and then you still don't have a job, and then they realize, why are you working on trying to date somebody? You don't have a job. You need to secure your situation, because you might have a savings or whatever, but why are you trying to spend your savings up when you can go get this job and then keep putting money in your savings while you look for something else that you want to do? It's like, take the first thing that's offered to you. It's like, if you were getting like unemployment or something, and if you got a job and that stopped your unemployment, you were making significantly less money. I understand that. But if you're like a teacher, they're paying like $40 an hour. And based on this guy and where he lived in Sacramento, they're not paying like $40 an hour at most places. And I'm not sure what he does or whatever, but It didn't make sense to me. And I'm sure he's not getting that much in his unemployment. But things like that, it's kind of annoying when I hear a man, he's like refusing to work, and it's like, you can go get a good job at the city or the county or the state. All these places are hiring, but you don't want to go work at any of these places. And then that makes me think, you don't want to go work. If we got together, we had kids or something, and then you're refusing to work. This is weird. Like with my ex, I don't know what he thinks or whatever, but I don't know, it was like I was willing to accept him, and it was like, he's older than me, and like he should be better off in life than me. He's older than me, he's had more time, but it's like I'm doing better in life than him. A lot of my exes are older than me, and I'm younger than them, and I'm doing better in life. And it's like, okay, why am I doing better than you? I'm still single, but you guys are not doing very well in life, and you're dependent on your parents and everything, and it's kind of weird. And then I noticed like this new thing with like guys being like shut-ins. I don't get that. It's like, I get like COVID and everything. It's like, I'm completely understanding of COVID. I'll wear a mask, I'll do all that. But I don't understand, like, you won't leave your house. And it's like, you don't have to go to like a mall or a shopping center or whatever. It's like, why can't you go like out in the air? Which is kind of weird, but yeah. If you like, subscribe and share your thoughts. Thanks for watching. Bye.